Hi, my name is Paxson Chase. I'm a singer and songwriter from Trenton, New Jersey, and you can find me anywhere at Paxson Chase. That's Paxson Chase, like the bank. And you're watching and listening to Two Geeks Talking.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Two Geeks Talking is an entertainment industry interview show where we interview the creative people from the comic, film, TV, movie, and video game industries. And of course, I'm your host, Kurt Sasso. We are joined today on a brand new year. It is 2025. Go figure, time flies. I have not had musicians on the show, even though I interview all people from entertainment industry in comics, TV, film, music, and video games. I have not had a musician on this show a very long time. So I'm very pleased to announce a very talented musician from New Jersey, of course. Beautiful sound, great style. We'll dive into all of his work here as well, too. We're joined by the ever-talented Paxson Chase. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me.
That's good having you on. I have always loved music. Music is always around everyone's lives, no matter what it is, whether they're like
Hmm
film, whether they're like television, or whatever the case may be. The fact that you're in the industry is amazing. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself as I normally do. For those that don't know anything about yourself as a creative person, tell us who you are and what you're bringing to Two Geeks Talking today.
I'm bringing a different type of sound, a sound that a lot of people don't do. I do like a indie hip hop, sometimes an alternative lo-fi type of thing. I really like to focus on personal topics like mental health or even like heartbreak, especially heartbreak because life. But that's what I try to bring to the table, something different, something unique when it comes to music because I feel like we've all heard the same things different ways, but let's do different things at the same time.
Yeah, the heartbreak thing, and whether you're in debt or whether you're going through debt or whether you bought that F-150 truck, or oh no, wait, that's country. Sorry, that's a totally different vibe. I find it interesting because I help with a show called Raise Your Voice, which is a local kind of like Canadian Idol version of American Idol. So I love the fact that musicians, you really put yourself out there, you really bare your
hmm
souls, no matter the song it is, whether you're covering your own works or whether you're doing someone else's that's in the mainstream here. What is the most misunderstood aspect about being a musician that people who aren't in the industry misunderstand?
That's a great question. And I think the biggest thing is that for me personally, my family thinks because I do some music, I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm just a regular guy under this mask. So a lot of people think like if you get a certain amount of numbers, you're that guy. You're doing everything. And like, of course, some people know like you're not mainstream, but they think like you're not sleeping or you're not really focused on a lot of things. And I can do a lot of different things. I have a hobby outside this. It's not just like my one thing I do. As soon as I tell them I do music, that's what they think I always do. Like I'm just so busy with music.
I'm always curious about the creative process when it comes to musicians because while I talk with people in the comic industry, mainly specifically, I should say here, being a musician is a completely different avenue, I think, and
hmm
different creative mindset here. What is your creative process when it comes to say writing and composing music then for your own work?
I like to think of it like a puzzle. I kind of just go in there and I just do it straight off the dome. Just let it just flow. And then what I'll do is I'll try to memorize certain things I said. Then I'll write it down. And then I'll rehearse from those two, three, four lines and then write from there. And then I'll start to take, okay, this word is better. Or maybe let's not put that there. Let's try it there until I have a full song. And then I'll go and record the full song and I'll play it back at least 4 or 5 times before I either feel like it needs to be changed again or things need to be taken out, whatever the case may be. For me, like I said, it's just one big puzzle and it makes it more fun that way. Instead of just sitting down and writing it, I like to just go and let the creative process, the juices just flow and then start editing from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I think it's rather amazing the fact that maybe certain things in your life, especially your world, could influence what you're obviously creating. You mentioned it with mental health and things like that. I think that's a huge hot button topic when it comes to personal growth. I think personally, when it
hmm
comes to that
hmm
aspect here, how is the mental health aspect, talking through and singing through your life, helped you grow as a person and as a musician?
It definitely helps me with reflection because there's times where I hear songs from like 2019 and I think like dang like I got past that like I did better and it makes it feeling of pride for yourself being able to put that type of vulnerability out and have people come to me and say hey man I related to that or you really helped me with that or you helped me get through that same scenario man that's something that hits the heart man that's just nothing that could top that feeling.
So, what about any memorable stories or anything along that line when it comes to the writing process here? Have fans even come up to you and kind of giving you an inspirational like word or song or sentence that has really said, you know what, this is something I need to sing about?
Most of the time, yeah, I like to chat with my fans. You can always DM me and we'll talk. We'll have good chats the best I can, with time and stuff. But a lot of songs aren't just about like my personal struggles. It's also some songs I took inspiration from those conversations and what other people were going to, and just to like shed some light on their uh situations and show that hey, you're still not alone. Because that's the main point about it, that other people aren't alone through these things.
Does improvisation actually help you when it comes to your songs, or are you more of a this is what I've written down, I've made this puzzle, it's come together? But do you feel like improvisation can help you with your creative process?
Oh yeah, 100%. I definitely feel like it's more improv than anything because I start off just not knowing what's about to happen when I step in there. I just kind of go turn on the beat. Let's see what happens. It definitely gives me more of a different type of view on everything because when you sit down and you write it, you go in there, you have this is it. I know what I'm about to do. I know what I'm about to do. But there's times where I go in there and I'm like, you know what, this song is not good. Give me another one. Let's try it right now. Like, so I walk in there thinking I'm about to do one song, then I come out with three, four different songs. So I definitely think improv does play a huge factor in my creative process.
We're talking about the your current EP here, at least the one that you mentioned to me when you scheduled for this interview. It hurts, doesn't it? Talk about that particular EP specific, and why is it important for people to listen to it?
It hurts, doesn't it? Takes you through a whole journey, especially now with like the whole TikTok and scrolling phase. I wanted to give you that feeling of you scrolling. So there's certain skits in between where it felt like you're just, scrolling through your phone for the next song. So even when you're not on your phone and you're listening to It Hurts, Doesn't It? You're still feeling like you're on your phone. So you never really left your phone because people can't live without their phone these days.
What came about this particular EP? What was the influence for this?
That one, I just had a bunch of songs. The project was originally called Escape to the Stars, and it had maybe like 13 tracks, but I just wasn't feeling a lot of the songs, and I wasn't feeling the title. So I sat on it for about 2 years,
Okay.
and I sat there and wondered like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I have a friend who's also an artist, and I'm telling him, I'm like, man, this is bull crap. Like, I'm tired. I can't figure out nothing. He's like, yeah, that it hurt, don't it? Like, that's not fun. I'm like, you might got something with that one. So I just took it straight out of his mouth, and that's the title. And I took the best song that I feel could fit with such a title that can relate and like really help show what that what that can mean to someone. It hurts, doesn't it? Because sometimes it does hurt.
What are some of the titles then of that particular EP?
You got camera roll, white heart emoji, lucidity. My personal favorite is actually camera roll, but still woozy's another one of mine too. These are all different type of genres. I wanted to keep every track different so it can still feel like, like I said, that scrolling on a different video type of feel.
Have you done a live performance of this EP yet, or have you just done certain tracks, or are you more of a let's get the recording out there, let's get this out, and then let's test the waters with the a live fan base?
Yeah, I'm more of a get it out than to perform. I haven't done any performances for this project yet. Still trying to get around that, still figuring it out because I'm a college student, so time is of the essence sometimes.
Going back to university myself, I went back for a 4 year program in visual arts and film, and it was just like
Hmm.
sometimes I just thought, why am I doing this? But then it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well, the end result is will be better in the long run. But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and I was still doing the show while I was doing that as well too. So it was one of those
Hmm.
things where how do you manage your time with your creativity, and
Yeah, no.
the struggles of school.
Yeah, and it becomes one of those battles because like sometimes you got to pick the latter. Like I got to get this done first, but
Mhm.
I really want to do this. Like, yeah, it's one of those like it's an internal battle at least twice a week.
Hey, you're making it through. That's the main thing, and you're still making
Yeah,
music. As long as you don't
yeah,
give up on your passion and your creativity, the world will be a better place for it, and you'll survive. That's the main thing.
yeah.
How do you stay inspired with this time management crunch that you're going through here? Like you said, you got to put priorities ahead of priorities here, but is school life giving you that inspiration as well? Is it giving you the next album or next tracks you want to create?
Yeah, luckily I go to school for music,
Okay.
so I'm always learning new things, learning new ways to produce, mix, or use my vocals. So I'm always practicing. So even when I'm not home or in the studio, I'm always practicing music in some way, and that does keep me motivated, keep me wanting to go. So Yeah, that's pretty much it for that one because when I try before I went to school, like in high school when it had nothing to do with music, man, it was hard to like try to balance, the schoolwork and all that, and I didn't really have a lot of motivation. So definitely me being in school for music has really skyrocketed my motivation.
What's the music scene like in New Jersey?
Completely different than what I make. There is like really grounded with like drill, trap, just regular hip hop and rap, which I'm kind of like the oddball out with with my peers and stuff like that. But you know, it's cool.
Well, then let's talk about your influences when it comes to this particular genre of music that you are creating here. If you could get it into a studio and collab with any three artists, alive or dead, who would they be and why?
XXX Tentacion because he really kind of influenced me to take this type of style to do more emotional music about with like vulnerability connected to it. Definitely Kid Cudi, because same thing. I just love his music so much, and he's one of the people that everyone I'm saying has inspired me to do music in some way. And then Michael Jackson, like it's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's just a given.
Yeah, self-explanatory for that one.
It's going to be a sad day when kids of the younger generation don't know who Michael Jackson is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my niece doesn't even know who he is already. It's like she'll be like, play the zombie song. I'm like, Thriller? What are we talking about?
What's the most bizarre place or situation that inspired one of your songs?
I don't think I have any bizarre like times where it was like, that would make a good song. Yeah, I don't think I have anything like that. Because I'm constantly like jotting down things. Even when I'm like, I know it's bad, but even when I'm driving, I'll be like, oh, wait a minute, let me write that down real quick. Like I'll stop anything, whether I'm at work or not. I have an idea, I'll go to the bathroom and write that down. So it's never like a bizarre situation because I'll always take the time to jot ideas.
You mentioned some of your influences here, but let's go on the other side of the spectrum. What is the most embarrassing song on your personal playlist that you secretly love?
It's this anime song. It's a new anime that came out called Don Da Don.
Okay.
I've never seen the anime,
Oh,
never
it's
seen it,
awesome.
but I love that theme song. I love that theme song. I don't know what they're saying, but it gets me going. It gets me going. It's definitely on my list to watch, though. It's definitely on my list to watch. I heard it's a great anime.
Yeah, it can get pretty wild. So if you like fast paced action but just crazy off the wall visuals, you're gonna love that one.
Oh, sounds great to me already. Sounds great.
Yeah, the anime opening and closing songs they're just bangers from
Yeah.
80s. All if you could listen to like even the old 80s stuff, like all the way to
Hmm.
current stuff, there are some wild songs in there that just are
Yeah,
just
no.
hard hitting 2-3 minutes of just
Yeah.
like fast paced boom.
They really show their stuff on the anime theme songs. No matter, I can't even think of like, I mean, I can think of a couple. I'm like, but most anime theme songs are just bangers all out.
Bleach had a whole good run of openings, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, true. Bleach did have a good one. I think Naruto
Mm,
has a good couple ones too. Funny enough, I like the One Piece American rap version
okay.
better than the
Yeah.
traditional one they had, the Japanese one. But One Piece is so long, I can't even watch it anyway. So
Have you ever accidentally written a song with the same melody as another famous song?
another famous song? No, but I can say that I've taken inspiration from certain famous songs to like try to whether I use that melody or that cadence, or maybe I try to like take it and mold it into my own. Because I'll do that if I like that I'm like I want to do that I want to try that like and I'll try because it's I think music just creativity in general is just trying see what you could do, trying new stuff, making stuff be weird, cool, whatever.
When you started your musical journey here way back when, and now you're into school for music as well, has your style changed from a creative perspective and from a musical perspective?
100%. Back in Jersey, it's mostly trap rap and stuff. So that's what I was doing. I was like, whether I was doing like storytelling kind of rap or just rapping on the hardest beats or doing random remixes. Like that's what I was doing. But eventually, as I grew and I listened to people like X or Kid Cudi, I kind of started to mold it to what I do now. And school has done nothing but like help me really like hone it and make it better.
So are they supportive of your particular style or musical journey there?
Yeah, yeah, I would agree.
Not really.
Not really at all.
Now, how do you find your unique voice when it comes to your music? amongst the saturation of the music landscape today?
I have been trying to make a different, like my voice unique for so many years to the point where I had to realize that me being me is unique. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like me doing like certain songs or singing a certain way, I don't want to, I don't try to sing like this person anymore. Or like, or maybe if I do it like this, it'll be cool. No, I just do it the way I feel would work for me. And that in itself makes it unique because now it's my art. It's not like I'm trying to be John from Tennessee or Tim from Hoboken, it's just me. So that's the way I try to do it. I always try to keep it authentic to me and do what I know is best for me instead of trying to be like my idols or inspirations. It's more like, yes, they inspire me, but I don't want to be them. Because I feel like a lot of people get that confused. Because next now they want to be the next Kid Cudi, the next Drake, instead of just being you and going there.
We all grow personally, professionally, in whatever we decide to do. And, it can be a longer journey than you realize. If you're
Yeah.
starting off young and, 20 years down the road, you're still in the industry, you're going to change probably five different ways.
Yeah, no, because I def started this at 17. So I'm 26 now. So it's like a lot of lessons learned, a lot of journeys and roads taken. So
What lessons have you learned from your parents that has shaped your music?
definitely to follow your dreams. My dad is from a country called St. Lucia, and he wanted to, come down to America, have a family. Like that was his goal, that was his dream, and he achieved that. And one thing he always pushes me is just do what you believe for yourself and always try your best because at the end of the day, at least you could do is try. So that's something that I keep to myself all the time. Just at least try it out. And that's what I believe, especially with creativity. Like I said, just trying. No one's going to tell you it's right or wrong when you're in your bedroom doing it.
So, how has technology and digital platforms like Spotify and those streaming platforms influenced your approach to creating and sharing music?
Definitely way different than a hey man, here's my SoundCloud link, or hey, you want to hear something real quick? It's much easier to get to a broader audience, and I think that's a much powerful step for people like me who are independent and who are doing this kind of with no backing. Because I remember, like I said, starting this at 17, having to go up to people in class like, hey, what you listening to? You got to hear this real quick. This hard. It's hard. It was not hard, in fact, but definitely a broader audience now because of that. It's a really big blessing.
What's the second wisest piece of advice you've received that has stuck with you in your current musical journey?
Don't take the negativity too serious because you're gonna get bad. People are mean in general. People are mean for sometimes no reason, simply because you're doing stuff they can't do or don't understand. So you gotta let that roll off sometimes because you take it to the heart, you start to question yourself, you start to doubt yourself a lot. It's better off to just say, hey man, that's your opinion and keep going on.
So, screw the haters.
Screw the haters.
There's your next track, Screw the Haters. Everyone has one person that inspired them on their path to where they are today. Who was that for you?
I definitely think my mother, watching her as I grew up, work hard, keep the family, a family and get things like my mom was that mom on Christmas. Like she told you wasn't getting it, but then you got it. Like no matter how hard it was to get being financially stable. So she really taught me to just keep pushing through it all, no matter how bad it feels or seems, to just keep pushing it. And that's something that gets me up during the day because there's days I just don't want to get out of bed, like anybody. So it's like, nah, because mom would get up.
From a professional standpoint, you've created your own EPs. You've created other music as well that we didn't touch on here today, which means you got to come back and talk about your upcoming albums and things like that when you
Mhm.
get more into whatever your next album is going to be. So I can't wait to talk with you again in the future for sure.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
from a professional standpoint, you are successful in that regard. Do you consider yourself personally successful?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I think of it like success is what you make of it. And I think I have good friends, good relationships, especially when it comes to the music. I've done a lot more that younger Paxson wouldn't even believe. So I do think that I am very successful. And I just feel like it's only so much more success to get. You know what I mean? I'm ready for the journey.
The reverse of success is failure. How do you deal with your failures?
Learn from it. I'll sit down and really ask myself, okay, how did this go wrong? Or how did this fail? Not even go wrong, because sometimes you gotta fail to, progress. So I'll try my best to really learn from the fails because I think that's what you're supposed to do. You can't dwell on it too much. You can't let it bring you down, but you got to learn from it.
The younger generation are looking at your work and becoming inspired to be creative in their own way. And the fact that you're a musician, maybe you're going to then inspire them on that particular path. How can they inspire the generation that follows them?
That's a great question. I think you got me for this one. I think by doing the same thing that we're all doing as creatives, or just anybody who's like really trying to progress and do well in life, is just showing the younger generation and so on and so forth that, to do your best and try and keep going and find something that you love and just do it. Don't be afraid because of the haters, because screw the haters. So just teaching the morals and the mindset of loving yourself and just keep going through all the turmoil and tribulations. I think that's a good way to teach.
Last question's a fun one before we wrap up the interview, and it is this. If your life was a album, what would its title be? And what other type of genre would you sing other than what you're used to?
My life was an album, probably be Wake Up, because I love sleep. I love sleep, but then there's times where I know I gotta wake up, gotta go do this, get out of bed. So definitely Wake Up. I would love to try rock and roll. I love every genre of music except for country. It's not really my it's not really my cup of tea, but I am open to trying anything. I do have certain songs where I've tried like a hard rock or pop rock, like different types of rock. I just haven't put those out yet. I'm still trying to get the confidence level to get that out there. But I'm open to really try anything, but I definitely want to do rock and roll one day.
Well, Paxson, I hate to say it, but that ends this particular episode of Two Geeks Talking. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Of course, man, and I thank you for having me. I will be back.
Before I let you go, though, where can we find you? How can we support you? And of course, any other websites or social media you would like to promote?
You can find me anywhere, social media, Google me, anywhere by Paxson Chase, Paxson Chase. Go hear It Hurts, doesn't it? It's came out December 18th and it's still streaming on all platforms.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on the show. Like I said, that ends this particular episode of Two Geeks Talking. You can, of course, find this interview and 1,200 plus others on our website, tgtmedia.com or twogeekstalking.com. That's TWO. Website is going through a complete overhaul, so don't even bother going there, which I just say it because it's habit after 16 years. So go to our YouTube channel. I know that's always updated because I update it myself. youtube.com/TGT Media. The podcast you can find at twogeekstalking.podbean.com or just search Two Geeks Talking wherever you get your podcasts. And as I say every week, everyone has a story to tell. It's up to me to help bring that out. Thanks for listening and watching on Two Geeks Talking.